Good afternoon, Final Fantasy Randomizer fans. Thank you for your patience. We are just about ready to go here in this Week 2 matchup. I'm joined in the booth by Elastoid. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Looking forward to this race. We got two runners who I know and enjoy. So this should be fun.
Yeah, and it looks like the biggest difference between their party is the presence of a black mage and a thief. So this is going to be super reliant on black magic here. So we'll see how this shakes out for our runners.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. From the names of the players, I don't know. Maybe Danny's planning on Danning the Black Mage. What do you think?
Yep. Ready Player One. It's interesting that Rumblefish is going with the Knight Rogue Red 1, Red 2. I know last year during the spring tournament he would try to make his party say like a fun little phrase, but we're out and running. So let's see what's available here in the Magic. Oof.
Nothing level 1 white magic is actually good.
Okay, we got Lightning 3 unlocked. That's expensive, but it's not too bad.
So yeah, we're starting off with a nice sweeper magic, which is important, and you don't have anything that's white mage exclusive. That would be important, right? Like, I'm always worried about finding something in the level 1 white magic shop, because if I find exit, I might have to like make a white mage.
Yeah, reroll if it's like a Cure 4 or Life 2 in that second slot.
Well, Cure 4, Life 2, those are all about safety, but you know, exit's the one that makes you fast. If you have an exit disadvantage, you will lose.
That's a valid point. I think of speed in combat also, or dungeon clearing by being able to pick up your party members as they go down.
Yeah, that's fair.
Worth noting, super expensive heals, cheap houses.
Yeah, cheap houses is always good. It's gonna especially benefit Danny, who is gonna be relying a little bit on spell charges, at least early.
Yeah, she tried to go in the back door of that room right there. There's only one way into that room, Danny.
Yeah, it looks like the fighter is gonna probably die before you get to Garland. Any ambush, even if it misses the fighter, will die from poison.
She did pick up one heal potion.
Yeah.
She's not. Oh, he's poisoned. We don't have a pure, so
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. All right.
Although it looks like he may make it through, assuming they kill Garland with this.
Garland, very chunky, over 224 HP. Fizz survives. Rumblefish grabbing his complimentary iron armor and gonna take care of Garland as we get some herb from the king, and his daughter gives us the canoe.
Oh, so this is already a potential jet seed? Either way, getting the canoe before you need to grab the canal opens up a whole lot. You could find the canal loose in Gurgu. The canal could be loose in Ice Cave, you know?
Yeah, that herb could turn into a floater for us, and then
the canal could be loose in Cardia.
Well, canal can't be loose outside of the inner sea, but yeah. It's It does create some interesting routing options, especially if our herb turns into something like the key and we have full access to everything on the inner sea. So where would you take that canoe first?
Oh, well, I mean, the very first thing I'd do is turn in that herb and obviously check Provoca, because if you can find the floater, then you're not taking the canoe very far. But assuming that there's no additional progression hanging out there, assuming that it's just Chime and Q and Oxiale and all that, I'd be looking with Lit 3. Both dungeons are on the table. I would be looking to try and get the levels and see if I can make an Ice Cave dive. Ice Cave is the less, like, it's higher risk, higher reward, because you know the incentive item is there. So I'd be trying to see if I can do Ice Cave, though most of the time it's going to be Gurgu's the safer option.
Yeah, that is a bold play to go right to Ice Cave. Rumblefish going to show us what that herb turns into, while Danny shows us what the pirates are holding on to. Going to have some fun early route divergence. Not going to be too much, though, I'd imagine, unless one of these items is the floater. Level 2 White Magic Fade.
Yeah.
Huge.
And Danny, before she buys Fade, is going to see if Nuke's there, because it's always better to have Nuke than Fade.
Oh, yeah. And Temper and Lock, too, so that's pretty good. Pretty good early magic.
Yeah, having an early Fade means basically you need to... Like that makes Ice Cave way more possible when you have level 1 and level 2 magic that's going to sweep like that. You still need levels before you can get in there, but
there's our Red Mage learnable exit. So
yeah, so in this case, definitely, if you had to make a play, Ice Cave is going to be it's going to have more in it. It's going to have the incentivized items, so that's where I'd be looking to go. But you don't need to, because there's a floater, so you can put off Ice Cave as long as you like.
Well, there's our Jetsy, ladies and gentlemen. Well, not necessarily. We don't know how this routing is going to go. We don't know what the monsters have rolled, what the spike tiles are going to look like anywhere we go. We could still have nasty gatekeepers all over the place. So, but
it's an air seed at the very least.
Lots of exploration options early, which can be a blessing and a curse at the same time.
So I'm going to turn that question over to you, Caleb. If you can immediately fly in 7 minutes, where do you go first?
Well, with the key items that we have, if I'm Danny, I'm going to go do that herb turn-in, then I'm going to go over to the dwarves, turn in that TNT. I'm going to do these fetch turn-ins, and then probably, if I don't have anything to turn in, I'm going to go raid the Cardia Islands and see if I can get some good gear, maybe a ribbon, maybe something kind of expensive that I can sell so I can start getting money for that shop item, because now we can go look in all the different stores. So I chase down key items, talk to Sarda, that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because finding a nice grind tile is great, but if we can find one once we've got maybe 5 or 6 turn-ins in, that's a lot more experience that we'll be getting, as XP and gold will increase by 5% with every key item they acquire.
Exactly, and for anybody who's learning this game, it's always going to be better. If you have to grind, it's better to grind with more key items in your inventory. So if you have a key item available, you need a good reason not to go for it.
So at this roughly the 7-minute mark, Danny's going to be in the air here. And down goes player 1, so we'll see how long player 1 stays asleep. Is Rumblefish going to take out these pirates and get his floater? So let's see where Danny goes. We're going to go talk to the old men. I like that choice. Pick player 1 back up.
Yeah, absolutely. With this one, you have another option of a free key item just sitting there, so you're always going to want to go for that first.
Yeah,
and it gives you a chance to do some shop checks.
Yeah, we're still looking for gold bracelets, pro rings. Going to be locked out of...
locked out of Harm 4, and more importantly, locked out of Fast.
Rumblefish, Rumblefish will be locked out of Fast. Danny will be able to learn Fast on her Black Mage at least, so...
yeah. So that means player 1 may have a bit of a role to play here. Fast is a pretty important spell if you can get to it.
Absolutely. Alright, so Danny, with 2 turn-ins to do, the herb and the bottle, we're going to head to...
possibly Sarda as well.
Yeah, looks like that's where we're headed.
She's going to want to avoid turning in the TNT before she gets the other checks if she's trying to be optimal, because if you can find the adamant and make one trip to the dwarf cave, then that's always preferable.
And she doesn't know that herb turns into the TNT yet either, so...
fair enough.
We could... I mean, but it is nice to have the bottle and the slab to do at the same time when we go to Gaia. I do like being able to route those 2 checks in together.
Doesn't look like she's doing that, though, because Melmond was east and she was going west.
Yeah, so it looks like she might be heading up to... We're going to open up some free boxes here, Matoya. Get a little bit of money, a house, and a little bit more money. So not a bad check to open 3 boxes.
Yeah, it looks like she's thinking, and she's doing the smart thing, which is when you're thinking about where to go next, you know, if you've got something free you can do in the meantime, do that.
Mm-hmm.
So she's checking some chests while she figures out what she wants to do for her routing.
Yeah. Hoping for an early loose item. Nothing doing, so we're going to head down to Elfland, turn in that town. Rumble's going to get his bottle from Sarda. And Dani might kick herself in the butt here in a little bit when she gets this TNT here, but...
Yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit. She'll kick herself more if she turns it in before she goes to Elfland, because if she has a chance to get that level 3 exit, she's gonna... Yep.
Yeah, she doesn't really have the money
The levels
right now,
for it
too,
anyway,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, you
levels
need
and
to
money...
be level 5, and I think she's level 4, so...
Mm-hmm.
No, she needs to be level 6, rather. She's got red mages.
Alright, first look here. Chain armor's even kind of expensive down there at 110 gold, so everything kind of rolling up on price. And there's our crystals. So, unfortunately, Dani now having to go double back and do the checks that she just did. So, and there's our level 5 nuke. We'll be locked out of locked behind promotion for those red wizards in the second slot at level 5. Dani's player 1 will be able to pick that up right away, though.
Yeah, it's an interesting position for nuke to be in. It's once again favoring the black mage.
And we're just knocking out all of our inner sea checks. Could you imagine how frustrating these turn-ins would be without the floater? Here's
if you forgot to talk to Bicky and you
just followed
went
that
back
chain
and forth, you'd be in a little rough shape.
Yeah. So it was literally herb to TNT to crystal to crown. Now, if this is adamant.
Rumblefish opting out of the blue stake fight, choosing not to fight the T-Rex.
Interesting choice. I think a couple Fates might have been able to take that down.
Yeah, I would at least try. You never know where his HP is.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, Rumblefish making the safe play and choosing instead to... Oh, well, Wyverns don't seem to be safe anymore.
Yeah, those Wyverns with Frost will give you a bad time. We'll see what Astos is holding on to, and he's eating his bowl of Cheerios.
So that was the herb turn-in led to the TNT, which led to the crystal, which led to the crown, which led to the opal bracelet.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, it's not terrible. It's the best armor you're going to get for your red mages early and out of the way, as well as a ton of extra experience just from all those extra key items. Rumblefish gets Thor's hammer from the Lithinians. Gonna hold on to it.
When you're already flying, you don't worry too much about not getting progression right away.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually pretty nice because what she got, when you get one of those long fetch quests before you do your grind, it means that your grind is going to be way more effective, way easier.
Yeah.
You know, so what she wound up doing was she lit a whole bunch of fetch quest items on the tracker, gained some equipment that was going to be good for late game, and wound up ultimately just making the whole progressing through the seed part of the seed a lot easier. You know, she may not have the progression yet, but it's going to be an easier time killing everything.
We do get a bit of bad news on Dani's screen as we see the level 5 magic, and we see in the bottom slot is a wall. So we won't have access to a wall, so we're going to find at least 1 or 2 ribbons.
Yeah, that can be a drag, but when you got level 2 Fade, you know, there's only so much you can ask for. It's not always going to be the God Seed, and with level 3 Fade, and, you know, Brack's available as well on Rumblefish's side, you know, that's going to make early Fiends possible. There's lots to be thankful for in this seed.
Yep. And here comes the bottle turn in for Danny. Gonna check level 7 magic along the way. Holden cake. That's fine. Fog and life though, so that's one life spell we're gonna be locked out of. I missed where life 2 was.
Did we see level 4 magic yet?
I don't think so.
Okay, so that means life 2 is either level 8 or level 4. So here's fingers crossed for level 4.
Ooh,
Warp is level 8.
Well, we could also maybe see it in Onrak. Onrak might be okay. It's still pretty high to get a lot of charges at level 7, but
yeah,
still looking for a shop item too. So
if
possibly
it's,
Caravan, possibly Onrak.
If it's Onrak, I don't believe it's available, is it?
If it's in the top slot, white magic is available for red wizards.
Ah, there we go.
Pop
I'm good with
bottles.
6th level. I'm terrible with 7th.
It's counterintuitive. It's not Onrak black, it's Onrak white. Alright, so Danny gets the rod, so that's wonderful to get before we dive into the incentivized Earth Cave. So we still need a handful of items for go mode.
So Danny passing on the sandwich, but she'll take the blue steak.
Mm-hmm.
And T-Rex does a fair amount of damage, but oh, and she's gonna reset out. She doesn't want that XP without the fighter.
Mm-hmm. So Danny with the rod from the bottle. We're gonna get to Thor's hammer down here. We have access to waterfall, ordeals, and ice cave still. Now that we know that we're not gonna get warp, which one do you tackle first?
I go off the board and we've got the rod. I would be looking at Earth Cave.
Okay.
You've got an incentive item there in these flags, you know, and it's good to be able to get an incentive item dungeon out of the way. It's also good to be able to light an orb. And Earth Cave is the closest to the level that we're at right now. Right, yeah. Earth Cave of the dungeons, Gurgu, Ice Cave. You're all going to have a little bit stronger monsters. So I would be going Earth.
We get a T-Rex kill, so that's level 11 for the red twins down there for Danny.
Yeah, and she's going to be able to revive right now because of Lufanish hospitality.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, I think any of those dungeons is a good option. We're at a fun point where you can go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
This sea is wide open.
Yeah, with the fades and the lightning 3s, I would probably do ordeals. And then depending on what ordeals gives you, figure it out from there. I don't really like doing waterfall without the Oxyale, but if Oxyale is in waterfall, putting that off can be a bummer. But
I think ordeals is just about the last one I would do because warp is level 8. So without warp but have an exit, like waterfall is going to be a way easier time than ordeals. It's possible that the column maze is really easy, but it's also possible that it's going to be ridiculously hard if you get that 4 pillar diversion towards the end. Then you've only got 1 out of 4 chance of progression, and it can just be a slog.
Mm-hmm. So Rumblefish defies all expectations and heads to the volcano.
Not necessarily a bad play. He's still got you've got a lot of chest density in the volcano, and he may be thinking that he's going to need to get that that incentive item that you purchase, you know, which it looks like is going to be neither on rack or the caravan.
Yeah, so possibly a lot of early money here. Skipping the cluster.
He's I guess thirsty for Carrie's blood here. He's going to go for it.
Full on. That's a gamble, man. I love it. We've seen a lot of runners throughout this whole tournament so far. Orphan clusters of chests. So there's our first look at level 4 white. We will get Cure 4 after promotion, and we'll get Heal 3 right now if we want it. So good
And
healing.
Ice 3 available as well. So when you're looking at magic, you have 3 very powerful sweepers that are available in the first 3 levels. And that's pretty useful.
Chat calling for the Agama grind. I got bad news for you, chat. There might not be Agamas here in that floor on the volcano, as spike tiles are not only shuffled, but we got B-side encounters, so we don't know what these spike tiles are going to have on them.
Yeah, that said, there's always a chance that there's going to be something useful here.
Decent armor pickup so far. Pro cape, ice armor.
So Rumblefish is checking all these chests.
Yeah, he got a good sword for his thief. Danny gonna clean up these boxes in Cardia, something Rumblefish has already done, but...
Did he find the katana and the rune sword?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this seed absolutely coddling his terrible thief decision. And we're finding chimeras available on a trap tile. That's actually pretty good, because this trap tile matches the one that's in Armory. So Danny, when she goes to Armory, is going to find this as well. And with the IS-3 available, they're going to go down fairly quickly. Although,
but
they do have Brack and Rub, so...
And they punch real hard, and they definitely rolled up on HP.
It's going to be less easy than it could be. Although IS-3 is going to make that easier. And Danny's going to be way more equipped to handle it. She's going to have IS-3 on 3 party members.
Alright, we're going back in, though. We got some decent gear out of there. Let's see if we can check that cluster and at least find out what's going on in there.
Yeah, let's see if the armory is now on the table. He's going to recheck those 2 chests.
Yep. So Danny cleaning up the Cardia is not finding a loose. Gonna head over to the caravan. And there's our shop item.
Cube.
Danny,
and Danny is going to buy so many heal pots that she can't afford the cube.
It's a bold choice, Danny. But we know where it is. We can't do anything with it right away. We don't have a chime to match it, so we just keep a mental note, and we know when to come back. It's not very expensive.
I think Danny's expecting, I think the next thing she's going to do is the waterfall. And she's going to go ahead and get some heal pots for that, be ready for the waterfall, and then she can come back and get the cube on the way out. Not having current access to Cure 4, it's good to have some sort of healing.
Yeah, we're definitely going to want to promote to get that Cure 4 too. So the tail is nice. It's a nice find. I mean, until we find something a little bit better, Fade on the Night is really nice. Yeah, promotion would be real good right about now.
Heal is good to be able to save some time using those potions, and to avoid having to spend the time purchasing them again. So yeah, it's always a nice thing to have. It's not on the list of essentials, but it does make you a little bit faster.
Yep. And chat pointing out, my next thought was we also have that katana we can sell. So yeah, there's no shortage of potential money locations for Danny here. And those nachos, pretty beefy.
Yeah, so at this point, you get a lot of route diversions. We still haven't seen anything that's particularly difficult. We're just... we don't have anything particularly difficult. We're just collecting things right now. So this is still living up to the whole Jet Seed description of it, at least for the moment.
That's another
That is,
thick spike tile for Rumblefish here.
yeah, that is a potent spike tile, and it's unfortunately really susceptible to the fire magic that we don't have.
Yeah.
So that fight will have to be taken twice in order to check the red D chest. So let's see if he's interested in doing that.
Did he open that box that it was blocking?
I don't think he did.
So Rumblefish, oh buddy, third eye grind spotted in the waterfall. Amazing. So
I hadn't heard it called the third eye grind. I like that.
So Rumble taking all the gambles, skipping boxes all over the place in Volcano. Let's see how it works out for him. We're gonna take on Carrie.
I don't know that he meant to skip that box, because he did take the step and take the fight there, but I think after the fight turned out to be difficult, he got distracted.
Yeah. So Carrie only comes out with stun. We got a couple Invis 2s off. Ice 2, kind of scary at these levels with this HP. We're gonna fire off some fades. No healing magic, so this is fades and praise. So we're gonna switch to Lightning 3. And then we might be down to throwing out Brax and crossing our fingers, as Danny's gonna run this semi-charm grind for a little while. And here comes
at the very least, she's gonna expend her spell charges here. It's pretty far away to wind up going back.
Carrie poking everyone in the eyes. You'd love to see a lamp spell right about now. And the knight just will not recover from that stun. 25% chance to do so.
It's not clear how much HP Carrie has, so any one of these lit 3s could take her down.
Just chipping away.
And unfortunately, Rumblefish gonna take the wipe there.
Yikes. So, tried the cheeky Carrie play early. Danny already up to look like level 17 across the board here, getting wonderful XP.
So, Rumblefish with a lot of aggressive plays. And Danny making the safe plays, and it's just the seed has been rewarding a lot of the safe plays, because it turns out she gets, at the end of that fetch quest, she gets the opal bracelet, which I don't think Rumblefish has yet. She has just checking all of the incentive locations. She finds a really easy grind, and she has exit. So she's going to easily be at level 18, level 20, even if she decides.
Yeah, she's even throwing out Brax on these eyes, just stoning them. So up to level 18 already. Yeah, you kind of wish you had and we're going to skip out.
I think that 18 is enough. I mean, she has 4 orb dungeons ahead of her. She's going to easily be at level 24, level 25 by the time she's facing Topher, and that's on 4 party members. So she's not likely to be in much trouble for the rest of the seed. And it's really cool at 28 minutes to be flying and to be at level 18. That's not something you see a lot.
So Did my brain do a dumb thing and did I miss the shop item? Oh no, it was Cube in the Caravan. Right.
Yeah.
So the other nice thing about that third eye grind is you also get a truck ton of money. So she walked in there basically broke, walked out with over 125 grand. You love it. You love to see it. So hopefully Rumble will go there, but he's going to go into the Earth Cave. Skipping the top of Earth. That's not a necessarily bad play. It's pretty quick to come back and check that once we've gotten through to the Lich.
Yeah. I agree with the Earth play, obviously, but I really wish that he would have been playing a little bit safer and checking more of the free stuff first. So far, we haven't even seen what's in Cardia.
We've cleared out Cardia. It was like a pro cape and some.
Oh yeah.
The katana was there.
Sorry, I don't think Rumblefish has, rather.
And we got Thunder in chat calling me out because I said Rumble instead of Thunder. They sound similar, man. Similar sounding words. Same sort of structure. All right, Rumble.
Yeah, they've got an assonance for those lit majors.
There you go.
An assonance to them.
Look at you knowing words. And that's another wonderful grind to find. The sandwich.
Look at you knowing words.
So
a sandwich grind is also a nice tile. This seed is just throwing high XP tiles at people, but it's going to be real hard to find a tile that is more cost effective than that 3 eyes.
So as Hypes Nova likes to call it, the sandwich station, and Rumble, we'll see if he stays there for a while and works on some sandwiches. Maybe make some grinders if it's if you're in that region of the world that refers to hoagies as grinders or subs or zero or whatever heroes.
Yeah, it looks like Rumble is just trying to go fast, and he's not worried too much about XP or even picking up equipment. He's just looking to get those orb dungeons out, which, as I said, is pretty aggressive, but depending on what he runs into, it could wind up paying off.
Yeah, he is playing very aggressively, and this could pay off for him. Like he skipped out on the volcano armory. Hasn't skipped anything here on Earth except the top of Earth. So as long as he's thorough in the rest of his checks here, I don't feel too bad because the cluster and armory is real easy to check. And Danny's just getting bounced around all over the place in this pillar maze.
Chat is now quoting Adam Sandler, I believe. Like a B-side Adam Sandler. Like, not even...
and Danny has had enough of this pillar maze and just like, let me just start over.
Yeah, it's one of those things where when you have warp, the 2 dungeons that are instantly easy are the Ordeals and Ice Cave, and just the absence of warp. Exit doesn't add a whole lot. Like, having exit instead of warp doesn't add a whole lot to Ice Cave if you're doing the full clear. Obviously, it takes a lot longer to get to that incentive chest, but you're probably only going to take like a couple extra steps on the full clear.
And Thunder just getting the business from those Spectres and Geist with stun touch.
Rumble
had a red mage charged up.
You called him Thunder again.
I did it again?
You did it again. I was like, oh, do they have Thunder?
No. Oh, man. I'm sorry, Thunder. Rumble getting bodied by the Spectres and Geist with stun touch. He had a red ready to go with Fade and got punched out before it could go out.
Yeah, so Rumblefish actually, his key game, his main game, as far as I understand, has always been Final Fantasy IV, the free enterprise randomizer. But he's been doing Final Fantasy randomizer for quite some time. He was in the Tour de Canaria way back when that was a thing.
Yep,
he's been racing for a lot longer, but it's probable that Danny's been doing more races than Rumblefish by this point of Final Fantasy randomizer.
So Danny finds a Sunsword and a Vorpal and a ribbon here in Ordeals, along with a ruby. So that's 2 key items.
The rubies is just going to be the 1 key item now because we're flying. But it's an interesting check because it's also got the 3 chests there, and it's just real easy. Like finding the ruby when you're flying means you don't even have to trek over there.
Yeah. And Rumblefish was in the spring tournament last year and knocked me out of contention for the last chance qualifier. He and I raced in week 5 of Swiss with everything on the line, and he knocked me out. So he's a wonderful runner, and I'm hoping Danny can get some sweet vengeance for me.
Yeah, I don't remember whether he was second or third in that last chance qualifier. I believe he was second, just to SVJ.
Yeah, he did well.
We all know that SVJ went on that miraculous run. Well, not miraculous, but he went on
he got hot right at the right time. Yeah,
a splendid run in that race. He was second. Thank you, SVJ.
And
I would know. He says.
Rumble finds the second location of the sandwich station here on the 3rd floor of Earth. It's good to know that they're franchising.
Yeah, that single Earth tile is going to be also what you'll find in the bottom, in the first level. Mm-hmm. So if he wanted to take that grind, he still could. But it looks like right now he's just trying to go fast.
He finds the spooky pack that knocked him out, and he double runs and double fades. He gets through it. So, and we're going to get a look at simultaneous checks here. Titans and Earth Cave. Danny can't figure out where the door is, and we're in. We get a key and a loot. So 2 key items, very required.
Yeah, so that ordeals play, it's going to have to happen.
Mm-hmm. Which means both runners will be guaranteed a ribbon and an in-game sword if we find that tail. Got a question from chat.
Chime in Earth Cave. Now, with Warp not on the table, these are not chests that you often check. Mm-hmm. So this is interesting because the order in which Danny tackles these dungeons is going to matter. If Danny finds that chime, she's going to be able to go mode. Well, I mean, she's definitely going to be able to go mode Mirage and Sky because you're not getting in there without the chime. But it's going to be interesting to see whether we're checking chests in Sea Shrine and in Gurgu.
Well, we're still looking for an Oxyale. If that Oxyale is in ice, yeah, we might be skipping everything because that would kick the tail loose.
Well, we found both loose items, haven't we?
We've only found the chime. That was our first one.
Ah, fair.
Yeah, we haven't even found the loose canal, the loose and a half. Alright, where are you gonna go, Danny? Danny in a pretty strong position here. Hasn't stepped foot into a fiend dungeon yet, but we're gonna do this adamant turn in. So I guess this could be the Oxyale. Oh, we could be. So once Danny goes to Earth Cave, she will be in go mode.
Yeah, so the second loose item is going to be the Power Bonk, it looks like.
Yeah, Power Bonk or Tail.
Oh, yeah, or Tail.
Yeah.
The Tail meaning a lot more to Rumble than it's going to mean to Danny.
And
she's got pretty strong magic already. With the Black Mage,
spike tiles, so.
And she's got the Sun Sword as well. So, I mean, it's always nice to get that class change, but if the tail is loose, it's possible she's going to skip the tail.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting if she even goes to ice, because it looks like she's prepping for an Earth play here. Those dirt cheap gold bracelets. So yeah, she's setting herself up with in-game gear.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard, and she's like the fighter could use some better armor, but we know that the ice armor, Gurgu Volcano, on the armory floor. So even if we're going unpromoted. She's still going to be able to find end game gear for the fighter. So,
all right, Rumblefish gonna try his hand at another feint, and we're gonna take on the Lich here, and we're swinging with the Coral Store, doing a little bit of damage. Fade's coming in. Fire 2. It's a pretty high rolls for Fire 2. And a pretty low roll for Fade, so we're gonna keep the damage coming. Lich thrown out slow, gonna make those melee attacks even more inconsequential, but Fade will get it done, and Thunder will be the first to light an orb here, right at around the 39-minute mark. So let's see if he goes back in and checks the top. He skips the top of Earth.
yeah, especially with the loose item still out there, though he's still got like he's found the one.
Did I call him Thunder again?
I'm sorry?
I gotta stop looking at chat. Thunder's confusing me because I keep calling him Thunder. Alright, we're doing our key lock boxes for Rumblefish.
Yeah, apologies to Rumble for confusing him with Thunder.
Yeah, my bad, Rumble. I will say your full name from here on out.
Yeah, we're not apologizing to Thunder for the honor of being confused with Rumble.
Alright. So lumping in the key lock checks, Danny gets an X-Cal, but Rumblefish finds the dragon armor, so that promotion is all that more enticing should we find the tail.
Yeah, again, for Rumblefish, it's the promotion is a little bit more important. Unless he's planning on going 3-man. The Thief is fairly good in the early game at running away from things, but you don't get to run away from chaos. So unless you can promote him, he's not going to be nearly as effective.
There's a huge spike tile, and we've got Ice 3. We can make this work. So Danny needed more levels, and they're falling fewer than 266.
There are too
HP.
many grind tiles in this seed, and Danny using lightning. I think I probably would have gone with the ice because water elementals are weak to ice, and Ice 3 does a little bit more damage. You can. Ice 3, in fact, is the spell that does the most damage in the game to the water elementals because it does almost as much as Nuke, and the weakness to Ice 3 is going to push it over the edge.
So Rumblefish grabs his bowl of Cheerios, and he is going to do these key lock boxes. So something that it gets. So there's our second ribbon. It's Rumblefish's first, but he will get his next ribbon as soon as he goes into the Temple of Ordeals.
So Rumblefish has the opal bracelet on the Thief and just refuses to equip it.
It's a interesting strategy. All right, we're gonna find out. Rumblefish is gonna take his look here, see that information on Nuke, and it is locked behind promotion. So
Nuke being accessible is way more important when you don't have access to Fade.
It's still nice to have as a backup, but yeah, I totally understand and agree. Alright, you gotta skip buying those cheap gold bracelets for Rumblefish.
Unfortunately, it looks like, because we didn't see a life available in level 4, so it looks like if there is revival, there is a 1 in 5 chance of it being accessible to both runners, and that is if it's in the on-rack location. Sorry, 1 in 6 chance.
Danny just getting slowed down by some R-bones.
Yeah.
You can see Danny's nerves kind of getting the better of her.
Difficulty navigating with the D-pad. I'm wondering if there's an issue with her D-pad, because she has sort of consistently bonked onto doors.
Well, I think it's a little bit of nerves, and as Danny would admit herself, sometimes her hands get dumb. So she gets a lot of pre-race anxiety, and I'm sure that she's working through that, and she's racing really strong right now. She's got basically just to go to Earth and she'll be in go mode. So in a strong position here as Rumblefish plots his next move.
She doesn't have an orb lead right now, but she definitely has an equipment and levels lead. And I'd expect that when she starts to actually grind out orbs, she's gonna go pretty fast.
Yeah. Especially now that we know that any other loose item is not required. That she only have to open the boxes that she wants to. So strong position. Where
so,
Rumblefish
Caleb, you're in this spot. How hard do you look for the tail?
Oh, I don't. I don't. We got tempers. We got fast. We can make that power bonk work.
Crab cakes. They have checked ice.
So we're about to find out what's in the box right now. Here in Ice Cave.
No,
first,
we have checked it, didn't we?
She doesn't have warp. So.
Oh, fair enough.
Yep.
Why did I think we knew what it was ice?
We're hoping.
Oh yeah, because it's not required. So this is either the tail or the power bonk.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She needs to go to Earth Cave. Hey.
And there's the tail.
So good news for Dani. She will be able to equip that Vorpal sword that we found, and that X-Cal. So.
Yeah, it's the Vorpal sword or a good sword if she wants. It's also good news for Rumblefish because it means he's not going to have to track down that tail.
Mm-hmm. But he may put it together. So this is going to get him his loot. He will check the caravan for the cube. And the Oxyale is going to be with the ruby when he gets that, right? Yeah, so the blacksmith has the Oxyale. And the adamant came from the waterfalls. Okay, so yeah, this is that. Double check our notes, courtesy of our wonderful tracker, Groggy Dog. And we got chat pointing out that they've seen more gas dragons in Waterfall than ever. And that's because our wonderful developer, Meridian BC, fixed a bug that was in the encounter tables that was prohibiting encounter 8s from showing up. And it had been there for like 2 years. So fixed it fixed it about a month before the tournament. And with the shuffled encounter rarity, that encounter 8 could be super common. And we've been seeing a ton of dragons all over the place.
So now we're going to see if Rumblefish is interested in taking this grind. If he doesn't take this one, then he's not going to grind.
It would behoove him to take some levels here.
So there's a request for recap.
And Meridian BC in chat, good to see you, pointing out that he wrote the bug, so I wasn't going to throw you under the credit. I threw you under the bus for that, but credit where credit is due, I guess.
No, that was a different Meridian that wrote the bug. That was the Meridian of years ago.
It was Meridian AD.
Yeah.
Nice calendar joke there, no? Okay. Rumblefish grabbing the adamant. So, chat calling for a recap? Alright.
Oh yeah, so we had the canoe right off the bat from Princess Sarah. The king gave us the herb, which was a very large turn-in chain that wound up leading to the opal bracelet. Right, but the floater was there just from the pirates, so you're immediately flying. Then, like the bottle and the slab were all free. So you wound up the only non-incentivized location that we found was Earth Cave. On the last floor of Earth Cave, there's the chime. Right, we have not yet found the power bonk, and from there, we've got go mode from the rest of the items. So we're looking for a loose power bonk, but everything else is sort of just connected on almost a Swiss fashion.
Yep. And Dani3883 cleaning up her checks here. I wonder if she'll grab heal 2 on the reds. It's gonna skip it. And see if she makes the Earth play. Nope, we're gonna go by Fade on the night. Yeah. Gonna clean up and get our tempers. Good call. So yeah,
She's
temper
gonna grab
level
block
2.
too?
Yeah, temper level 2. Fast. We can make that Vorpal sword work for us on Chaos. We'll probably use Excal through the rest of Temple of Fiends Revisited, but with Tia and maybe Tia and Chaos, we might switch to that Vorpal blade. There's still no sighting of the Mossy yet. Dani taking all of her Third Eye Grind money and getting all the spells that she could possibly want.
Yeah, she's gonna grab that nuke for her red mages.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if she's gonna grab Cure 4 for the red mages.
She already did.
Oh,
So.
she did? I didn't see her go to Elfland. My bad.
Yep, she was there maybe 2-3 minutes ago. She went from Elfland to Crescent to Bervoca to Melmond.
And Life 2 is locked out at level 8.
Ooh, feels bad. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to complete this seed without any life magic.
So Life 2 is in its vanilla location, isn't it?
Yeah, because we saw...
we saw
level 8
the
Gaia,
Gaia magic. So yeah, Life 2 in its vanilla location in Lefane.
Dani also electing to skip the top floor of Earth. Let's see if she starts opening boxes now.
Dani knows she's not in go mode, but she also knows that there's an incentive item here to check for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she'll grab that key out the box, and we'll see what her intentions are here if she's going to open these boxes here, or if she's going to elect for the assumption that the loose will be in Sky.
Well, I like the play of if you're gonna full clear Earth, check those 3 chests or those 5 chests or whatever it is on the first floor. Check them last, because you can exit out and then check them after.
Yeah. Rumblefish on his way to Kraken. Playing fast and loose and super aggressive. I like the strategy that Rumble is taking here. Unfortunately, it may come back to bite him a little bit, but because he's not getting the levels that Dani got early on with the grind on the eyes, but
he does have 2 casters of Brack, and that's a real it's a wild card when it comes to Kraken.
Yeah,
because everybody's favorite strategy is to Bracken the Kraken.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's same with Tia. Like, you'd much rather get through those fights in potentially one round than find out that Tia rolled max absorb and your sword isn't doing anything to it.
Yeah.
So
Brack is not always a reliable strategy, as Dani gets out of the way for the bat, which kindly got out of the way for her.
You can't push the bat down the stairs, Dani.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It's always best to have Brack in your back pocket as like a secondary strategy, and hope that you have a better hope you have the way to do enough damage to kill a Kraken or a Tiamat.
Would you say that you keep it in your Brack pocket?
Oh man, I wish I did now. Oh.
So Dani finds wizards with stone poison, and she gets the bad news that specters are just frustrating.
Yeah, she's got, I believe, 2 ribbons at this point, or is it just 1?
She just has the 1. She will get the second here in Well, she might not.
No.
'Cause
Oh
where
yeah,
did
the second one's
it's-
key locked, isn't it? She may or may
Mhm.
not even go there.
Yeah. So, but she has one. I mean, you'd really like to have two.
Yeah, you'd really like to have 4, but you never will. So
I mean, unless we have randomized treasures on.
yeah, or you can purchase elite gear and then you run around with 4 mass mutants and 4 ribbons.
Yeah. I mean, that's a fun way to play the game.
Yeah.
And then you just click the easy mode button and just be on your way. Sneeze that
The
chaos
easy
and he
mode
falls
button,
down.
by the way, not the easy mode button that people expect, but the easy mode button is where you randomize the spells that are on the thing and you find like a nuke helmet or something.
Oh yeah. Oh, shuffled item magic is a wonderful, wonderful addition to the randomizer.
Yeah, so for anybody who's looking at this, you know, it's we've got a very specific flag set for these Swiss rounds, but Final Fantasy Randomizer is the culmination of the work of several very, very talented developers, and there are just so many ways to play this game.
Mhm.
So if you're thinking about getting into it, absolutely do. You know, you could make it really, really stupid hard for yourself, or you can make it really stupid easy. But it's always going to be really stupid fun.
Yeah. And there's so many more ways to play beyond what you can find on the website, the FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. But if you join the Discord, we can get you set up to play co-op, which is another thing that Meridian BC developed. And Danny getting body blocked by the bats here. They let her through after she showed them her ID. And so we got co-op. We have a Pink Puff, another developer, came up with a deep dungeon, this proc gen roguelike experience where you walk into Canaria Castle and it's just a whole dungeon that goes like 50 floors down and gets progressively more difficult. And one of our other community members, Cyranus, found a way to tweak the website to crank it up to 10,000%. So you can find Tiamat with 104 hits and 30,000 HP. Because
yeah, if
like
you
that.
feel like the game at its most impossible is not yet impossible enough, you can make it worse.
Yeah.
I think I saw Will Bloodworth earlier, just unable to get through carry with 4 level 50 party members.
So Danny,
and that was carry 1.
Grabbing the key under the vampire's bed, gonna come down here to Earth 4 and let's see if she checks that top right room. We know that's where her go mode is, was the loose chime. And here it comes.
So she has been checking chests, so I would expect her to check that cluster there. That is where the chests are most concentrated in all of Earth Cave.
And Rumble, 1 shot, 1 kill, Brax the Kraken, lights his second orb at the 57-minute mark. So huge orb lead for Rumblefish, but still looking for that information. Still has to go to the Temple of Ordeals.
Absolutely, and at this point, you can't, you just can't ignore Rumblefish's strategy anymore, right? Like, he definitely more aggressive and definitely been less safe than anybody else would usually go for. But I mean, while he did have that costly wipe to carry, he's got 2 fiends down.
Mm-hmm.
And if that carry fight goes a little differently, he's got 3 orbs lit. And you know, even though he's less equipped to handle Topher, you know, he's 1 easy Topher away from having a sizable victory in this race.
Yep. So Danny hits her go mode as Rumblefish pondered his next move. And Danny's gonna make quick work of these fiend dungeons.
Yeah, Danny will find the chime, and she knows that she doesn't need to do anything else.
Yep,
so she's gonna light her first orb very quickly and try to eat into this lead that Rumblefish has.
Yep, and now you can hear Danny can hear Lord Fizzlebeef, it spells out her mentor, her co-op partner, just in her head. Time to go fast. Speed and power. So She's made her preparations. She's bought all her spells. All she's got to do is light some orbs, sub our go mode. Feels good. And she's going to get the information that Lich doesn't want to die, but Excal will remind Lich that it's his job to go down.
Yeah, Lich has already died, so can it really hurt that much a second time?
I don't know. Maybe. Sure. Danny heading over to the volcano. I wonder if we're gonna do this in vanilla boss kill sequence. So we're gonna start burning off our saving items, prepping for our Topher dive, getting our heal pots lined up.
Burning off the first 2 encounters of the table.
Mm-hmm. The veteran move, getting that encounter manipulation just right. Gonna open the free box just in case it was a ribbon. No luck there.
She's gonna miss the ice armor, but it's not gonna be necessary.
Yeah, I bet you she remembers that the steel armor was dirt cheap, and I believe it was Melmond as well.
Well, I think did she get the dragon armor?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so that's a factor, but it's probably not going to be the biggest one. She's got Sun Sword. She's got Excal. She's ready to go fast.
So Rumble prioritizing Fiend Dungeons over going to Ordeals, and still hasn't visited the caravan yet. So it's got a few items or locations left to check.
So the negative downside to Rumblefish's strategy is showing in that he's just now hit level 18 with 3 party members, right? Mm-hmm. It's wow, Glare missing 4 times. Does he have 3 ribbons?
No, he's got 1.
Yeah, that was pretty lucky. No, he's in a spot where if he had all those incentive items already, if he had all those key items and was getting that extra XP, he could easily be level 21. Right? But just because he doesn't have all of that, and hasn't been getting that extra XP, he's at level 18, which is a little bit lower than he'd want to be. He still could potentially get through here, but it's less sure. So, I mean, his aggressive strategy is it's very aggressive, and it's a knife's edge strategy that a lot of people will shy away from, but when it works, it looks so fast.
Mm-hmm. And Danny, losing to the exit boss there, dives back into the Gurgu volcano. So, losing about 30 seconds there. So, this has got to be a lot of nerves for Danny. She's coming hot off of her victory last week against Uriel Man's X7, looking to go 2-0.
So Chad asking what happened when you are menuing. There's I think it's a frame perfect trick to avoid casting the exit spell. I have failed that trick numerous times. If you have the exit spell in an early slot, it's really easy to accidentally use it.
Yeah.
There was a change made. I can't remember who implemented it, but it's now possible to back out of that when you hit exit. Mm-hmm. But when you're trying to go fast, it's not. And you can see exit is right next to her heal 3 spell. So she's trying to cast heal 3s. She accidentally hits exit, hits A again, and there.
And Rumble gets a flame shield to complement his ice armor, so that's a nice find. Not a nice find are those Brak Chimeras again, and we're going to go full offense here on carry for Danny. Here comes a fade. Big swing there from the Excal. Nuke going to come in, not enough to sweep her away, but...
Okay, so it looks like Carrie rolled some high HP, and Rumble was not even close.
Yeah.
To killing Carrie, but there was no way to know that.
Yep.
Carrie could have as low as like 300, 400 HP, and at that point, once you've done 300 or 400, you know that any shot could potentially kill Carrie.
Yeah, she was. She probably did anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200 damage there. So, and Danny, you can't park your ship there. You got to park right there. And we're gonna come back, and it looks like she is just gonna suck it up and get that steel armor, throw that iron on the ground. Got to do more than just unequip it, Danny. You got to throw it on the ground. There you go. Good for Danny for remembering where armor is for sale. I always forget. Messes me up all the time.
She didn't actually purchase it.
Well, she was just trying it on.
She was employing that useful strategy when you're trying to haggle with someone. You always have to be willing to walk away without purchasing it.
And
when she went back in, he had not lowered the price, so he called her bluff.
Rumblefish finds his second ribbon. Once he goes to the Temple of Ordeals, that will be his third ribbon. So, if he keeps this three-man party alive, and if Danny bounces hard off Topher, Rumble will be in a better position coming in with 3 ribbons.
This just because of the differences of the routing, it's so hard to see who's ahead. Because Rumblefish is, assuming he doesn't wipe in Sky, which is not a safe assumption at any time, but it's, if he gets through Sky here, he'll have his third orb, and he's already full cleared Gurgu. He knows where everything is, so he's gonna be pretty fast going through Gurgu. So he could have 4 orbs first, but at the same time, I mean, he's not class changed. Danny has definitely an advantage. And it's funny because he's not class changed, but he's got all the equipment that Danny would want. Because she's class changed, but she doesn't have the dragon armor. She doesn't have any of that.
Yeah. She'll be, I mean, I think Danny has a clear lead. I would say probably a full Topher wipe. Because all Rumble really needs to do is go to Ordeals. And that will get him, scrolling back up, reading my notes from our handy dandy tracker.
That'll get him the what eventually became loot, I believe.
Yeah, get him the loot. Also another ribbon.
Yeah, it'll give him the ruby for the loot.
Yeah, and he just needs to go to the caravan. So that's fine. Going to the caravan's a 15-second check. You would probably do it after he leaves here. But yeah, Caravan and Ordeals, and Rumblefish is there. So whether or not he goes to Ice for the tail is a different story.
So yeah, while he didn't do any of those grinds, he's getting a lot of levels in Sky, which is what oftentimes you want to do. Right? So you don't always need to grind because there's always going to be XP on the way. The only negative, he doesn't have all incentive checks, so the XP he's getting here is less than it would have been.
So, chat pointing out how dumb I can be. Of course he has the cube. He's in the Sky Palace.
Oh yeah, I forgot it was the cube in the yeah. I could have corrected you if I was paying enough attention, but I also wasn't. So that's on us, not just on you.
So Danny, looking at her levels, wants to get a few more. I was trusting our tracker, Groggy Dog. He failed me.
Yeah. So Danny swapped the silver armor in the place of the steel armor. The silver armor gives you, I believe, 18 absorb, whereas the steel armor gives you 33.
The evasion penalty on the steel might be why she switched, and Rumblefish finds a Masa. So if Danny doesn't clear Topher on her first go, I think advantage goes to Rumblefish with the gear that he has. He's going to go to Ordeals. I don't know if he'll go to Ice.
It's hard to say because Rumblefish doesn't have the tail, and he may or may not go for it.
Yeah, so he has a 50-50 coming.
Yeah, because the question is whether he's going to go to Ice Cave first or go to Ordeals. And given the trek that you have to do for Ordeals, he might opt for Ice Cave, but at the same time, he's right next to Ordeals right now in Mirage. So there's a good chance that he goes for Ordeals first, and if he does, and he hits Go mode, is he going to grab the tail?
I don't know, because he won't know that it is for sure there unless he finds a loose power gauntlet here.
Yeah, that's it. So you're in Rumblefish's shoes, and you know that it's either the tail or the power ball. Would that be worth going for?
Well, he would. So it's one of three things, really, because he's also still got to hunt down that loot, which...
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming he gets the loot first. So if you get the loot, and then you have to decide whether to make the Ice Cave dive just to get that either power bonk or tail, would it be worth it?
No, not without warp. I don't think so. I mean, we got the Masa, we got Fast, we got Temper, we've got Invis. We can get this done. We're gonna fire out nukes and bracks, mixing up strategies here. For Kraken doesn't get the first turn brack. Fizz survives the Kraken punch, throws out a big hit there. 3 hits, 377. Nuke. I missed the damage roll. Brack. Assuming happened. As Dani enters her PowerPoint presentation of how to walk out of Kraken's lair. Alright, Dani, 3 orbs, 110, cruising right now. Spells app in chat pointing out that Dani's Brack not only broke Kraken into pieces, but broke her stream into pieces. Alright, so Dani will be coming in right behind Rumblefish, and she might catch up pretty quick. Like, he might be taking care of Tiamat as she's coming through the Q block. But as he's getting ready to approach that teleporter maze, he'd be a floor away from...
Rumblefish could wipe here. Like, not in this fight, but Rumblefish only has the one mage remaining, and he's using his Brack charges against random enemies. So it looks like he's committed to the strategy of being able to damage Tiamat down.
Well, with Masa and Fast and Invis, he might be able to. Let's see what these greed boxes have for him. If it's a defense sword, I think we might be okay. We're sort of a little bit of money, cabin, and so no defense sword yet. He also skipped Mermaid's side.
So he has 2 Brack charges left.
Maybe he'll go brack to brack and it'll be alright.
Yeah, I mean, he only needs 1, theoretically, but Brack's certainly not a reliable strat when you only have 2 of them.
Yeah. But I think we got level 24, we've got Fast, we've got Lock, we've got Temper. We can turn that knight into a powerhouse as Dani coming through the Q block.
And so many unrunnable fights that are just costing him spell charges he doesn't... Yeah, so at this point, a lot's going to hinge on how well Rumblefish takes this Tiamat fight, because this Tiamat fight is a much larger threat to him than it is to Dani. If Rumblefish gets through it, then he's, I mean, obviously still going to be behind, but he's still going to be right there in it. If he wipes to Tiamat and he's got 2 orbs left and ordeals still to cover before Dani even gets into Topher, then he's going to be
He's weighing his options here. He just lost his fighter to some errors. He's looking at his spell charges pretty hard. He's in a precarious situation here.
He does not have exit on the red mage, so his options are to brack or to reset. So you got to feel like
it looks like he's going to try to walk back out of here. I think you have to push through, and he didn't move that Masa onto the red mage. give you sort of a fighting
you
chance
hate to
here.
see it.
Yeah. A fortunate turn of events here. I'd love to see him equip that Masa and at least give it a go. I feel like this is the only way out is through here.
Yeah, especially the only way out is to equip the Masa, because you're in a spot like that where you have to use the Ice 3 again just to get through. This is a rough spot for him.
Mm-hmm. And he keeps hitting these. Okay, they are runnable, so please move your Masa over.
There are multiple air encounters. Mm-hmm. That one, I believe, was the one with the Naga that didn't show. And that one was runnable, but the other one wasn't.
And we're going to switch to Light Axe strats.
Now, the Light Axe will do damage, but so will the Whizzvamp, so...
Yeah. And tough wipe there for Rumblefish.
Yeah, that's a costly wipe, and you gotta look, Rumblefish is now wiped within a stone's throw of Tiamat, and also wiped on the carry fight, so it's very easy for him to picture a very near adjacent reality, in which he's got all 4 orbs lit already. So it's frustrating.
Yeah, he missed. He lost all those levels and the Masa. Like any chance of this being like a 1 Topher difference between he and Danny is kind of gone with that. I think Danny now has a pretty strong lead here, but Rumblefish, he's a veteran. He can come back and do this.
Yeah, and I think so. Danny's just going to have the 1 ribbon.
He's been playing aggressively this whole time, and unfortunately, it's kind of not been enough over Danny's sort of thorough veteran approach to just little bits here and there, just routing and everything kind of nicely together and firing these bracks out at Tia. 3 bracks out, nothing doing. We're going to switch up to nuke because we got to go fast.
Yeah, once the fighter has done enough damage to and that you feel like a nuke could take her, it's easier to just throw out nukes.
Mm-hmm.
So Rumblefish going to go into Ice Cave, going to look for that last item. He's going to find the tail instead. And that's going to enable him to use a lot more of the strong equipment that he's got. This looks like it's Danny's race to lose, but Topher is going to be the great equalizer, and Danny's equipment is in the spot where it would need to be for that to happen. Because Danny has a lot of levels, but she's got 1 ribbon only, and she has no access to revival magic.
Yeah.
So if the fiends start throwing out their banes and their zaps, or if there's some mobs or anything like there was a water floor that we saw last night that was particularly dangerous. If we see anything like that, this could be a difficult Topher. And
we did see the Brack Chimeras, so those will be a hurdle to overcome. Make sure we want to buy a lot of soft potions just in case. But she's going in. We're gonna burn off our last 2 houses. We've got 5 softs to get through this.
5 softs should be more than enough.
Yeah.
When I use that word should.
And Rumble sees the big healthy party here of Naga and water and says, "No, thank you."
So Danny doing something real smart that I wanna point out here, because she hard reset, and before she had been just burning encounters before she entered the dungeon, but she understands that the real entrance to the dungeon is when you walk in that gate. So she's getting a few extra steps in Temple of Fiends Revisited by allowing those encounters to burn off in the vanilla Temple of Fiends.
Yeah, it's a smart play. And getting this Ghasty fight, throwing out the Ice 3, gonna help melt this party down, and she's gonna get some good XP coming through here. She might hit 29 on that night. Not in this fight, obviously, but coming through Temple of Fiends, and that will
before she hits level 29, she's gonna have to go through 27, 28, and all that. But
Right, but she just hit 27, so there's a
Yeah.
good chance she'll get 29. Especially keeps hitting these Gasties. And they don't appear to be all that scary. Yeah, Ice 3 comes in and cleans them up, so...
Rumblefish making his way methodically through the ice cave. You know,
now, if you're Rumblefish, are you concerned at all that you skipped some boxes back in the volcano? You skipped some boxes in the Earth Cave. Do you start second guessing your routing?
Not really. I mean, if I'm Rumblefish, like I'm more concerned with the wipes. Basically, I know if the loose item is something that I've skipped and it's required, then I've lost the race.
Yeah.
Right, because of the wipes, he must know that his opponent could very well be in Topher, but if not, that he's got to feel like he's a little behind and has to go fast. So he wouldn't make the kind of play to like if something bad has happened that he's not even going to play to that eventuality.
And he grabs his tail as Dani works her way through this Gur Medusa pack, hoping that the Thor Hammer is going to be enough to clear it.
Thor Hammer often will be.
Back it up with a couple low rolls from Lightning 3. And Fizz hits 28, so should hit 29, just on Fiend Fights alone. But just to make sure, we're going to fight some golems here. So Rumblefish has to be sort of relieved to get that tail. He's going to promote. He's going to be able to put on all that wonderful gear and hedge his bets a little bit better going into these later dungeons. He's going to be able to equip that X-Cal. He knows where the Masa is. It's not a hard check to get.
Yeah, he's able to use that dragon armor. It's nice to be able to equip the late game equipment, but it's still going to feel like a consolation prize to him. He was hoping that it would be the loot, so he would be able to consider himself in go mode. So now, instead of being a 66% chance, he's down to a 50-50, and he's just hoping that the loot isn't loose, because the loot being the loose item, it can be anywhere. If the loot is loose, it could be in Mirage Tower, it could be in Marsh Cave, it could be in that one on-rack chest, the Sea Shrine chest that nobody checks.
And Dani, moving the ribbon over to the knight, knows she won't have life magic, but making the veteran move, I have to ensure that my knight stays alive. So, whipping the ribbon to Fizzle, giving him that cute hat, and we're gonna throw a fast, a temper, and kind of respect Lich. Throw out a Lightning 3, 152 damage, and Lich responds with a tornado.
With a tornado, and that tornado normally not dangerous, but it nearly wiped out the Black Mage. And that's the kind of thing where you have to see. Now she's already down to 60 heal pots because like healing is going to be at a premium here. This is exactly the kind of situation you can be in and have a rough Topher.
Yeah, but we still have heal 3 and cure 4 on the red, so I don't mind burning through the heal pot, saving the spell charges for combat.
Absolutely, I think that's ultimately the good plan. But it does show that there's a lot of potential in this Topher. If any of these fiends, like especially if Carrie manages to get a kill here, then she could be in real trouble.
We're going with lock, we're going with fast, we're going with temper. We're trying to get that X-Cal doing work, and Rumblefish gets back on his horse and is back in the Mirage Tower. So, delaying the Temple of Ordeals play And down goes Carrie. Big hit from the X-Cal, fasted and tempered up. 708 will do it. But Fizz took a lot of damage there, so we're going to chew up some more heal bots, probably about 20. Oh, there's the loose power bunk on Rumblefish's side. I missed this the last time.
Okay, that's huge for Rumblefish because knowing that gives him the knowledge. He knows that the power bunk is loose, so he knows where the loot is. That's going to be real comforting to him.
And you know why we missed that last time? Because he didn't check this floor when he came in here last time. So he's got both of his loose. He knows he just needs to do incentive stuff. So he knows it's not a loot. So. Alright. Danny getting just delayed by waters. Just.
Yeah. Fade's a good spell to cast, but Ice 3 you can see is going to be the thing that's really going to do the damage. Guys, even when it low rolls, it's going to do 120.
And we're tired of it, so just Cure 4. Oh, it doesn't take off the poison. Only in combat. So, saving us some trouble of clicking some more heal pods. She wants to be going faster. So, you can tell it. I wonder if she feels behind, because she stopped patiently doing the heal pods and switched right to...
It's funny because Danny has absolutely no reason to feel behind, except that it's Danny. And yeah. she's got a lot of like
the nerves.
She's the least likely to be confident about where she is.
Big Nuke.
Kraken has Nuke, but Nuke has no casualty.
That's huge. We need to go now though. Must go faster. Must go faster. Heal 3's coming out.
She's gonna use the heal 3s and hope that and that's the first chink in the armor right there is losing one of the red mages.
Not at the end of the day, though. We still have our fast caster.
Yeah, we still have the fast caster, and we still have another red mage.
And down goes Zoe. But we can do this. We just gotta use the Cure 4s. I don't know about that. I would have tried to keep those around for chaos.
Well, she is aware that at any given time, the red mage could just be assassinated by one attack from a particularly overzealous Tiamat.
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna try and preserve those heal pots because she's got 30 heals and she's gonna want to have them available just in case she needs to heal up Fizz. Because if all she's got left is a Nightstanding, she's still gonna make the effort.
And Fizz hits his 29, and here we go. We're going to swing. We're going to temper, and we're going to fast. Perfect amount of fast. She's got one more, and that Tia making us regret not equipping the Vorpal. 3 hits, 3 damage, and we need some evasion as Tia punches real hard. That fasted X-Cal still not doing work. Tia's going to absorb all of our healing magic, and we need to keep Fizz alive. We gotta hope that this Tiamat is not punch happy. We're gonna keep the lock 2s coming. Another swing from the X-Cal.
Fizz doing 165 damage. Tiamat's gonna start using some spells. It's real helpful. Because Tiamat could at any time take a swing. She could reach out and touch one of the mages, and they would go down. But Tiamat's gonna waste some turns here, throwing out an ink. Danny's throwing out these nukes. These nukes are doing more damage than the fighter is.
And luckily, Tia stopped punching and switched to spells, and now she's switching to spells. She's like, "Oh yeah, Tia, I got spells. Have a fade from Fizz." Nuke's low rolling. Tia's resisting it. Lightning 2 chipping away at our mages. Fade's coming in. Low roll the Fade 84.
All out of Cure 4 charges. We're all out of Heal 3 charges. We're all out of Nuke charges.
I would throw out a cheeky Quad X here. You might be close.
Yeah, you gotta hope that the Quad X is gonna do something, because It's going to do It's going to do 299 damage. It's going to do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in sort of a risky spot here. You got only 20 heal potions left. Let's see if the Quad X is going to do. And Tiamat has fast. Okay, so this fight.
Quad X gets it done.
Oh, Quad X succeeds.
So
Quad X absolutely clutching it out because Tiamat with fast, she could probably one-shot a full HP knight there. And the last of the heal pots, she's got 5 left, and she's going to choose to use them on the Black Mage, try and get him healthy enough to throw a fast out there. This is going to be a close Chaos fight. If Chaos is feeling particularly frisky, or if he's got some absorb, then this could be a second Topher.
Rumblefish taking on Tia 1, throwing out Brax, bonking up. And are we gonna switch to the Vorpal? She's looking. We're double checking our resources here. I would love to see her switch to that Vorpal just in case.
She's out of exit charges.
Alright, we're going with the X-Cal.
Oh no, she's not. So going with the X-Cal, but you've got Temper to back it up. So
hopefully keep Zap alive. Alright, we're doing 10 hits. We don't have any evasion on this cast. We just need to get those Tempers onto Fizz.
Yeah, 10 hits 190 is not terrible, but you're always hoping for more.
Oh, and Zap gets rubbed. I don't know if Zap was wearing a pro ring or not, but that feels bad. So we lose one of our Temper casters. Big swing there. 10 hits, 227. We need those Tempers to start stacking up.
Yeah, Chaos has a fair amount of absorb, but with no evade, these Temper charges are going to do what it needs to. And now she's swinging for 400, and it's just hold A and pray.
All right.
10 hits, 792. Chaos taking a beating here. 1058, and Danny at 800 and terminated. Danny with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 31 minutes, and 5 seconds is going to be your first place finisher. Get your GGs out for Danny.
I'm sure Danny is probably mid-panic. I'm sure she's a bag of nerves. She's probably more mad that she's 2-0 now and might catch another one of our top runners next week. I don't want to give away who might be 2-0, just in case you're watching this on YouTube. But yeah, Danny 2-0, back-to-back wins, coming in strong. As Rumblefish cleaning up the stuff that he wiped on earlier, getting
Rumblefish, I believe, handled Tiamat, though I might be mistaken there.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be joined in the booth by Danny. When someone can add her, we're on a speed game, and so she can't join us.
So just make sure she got the invite. And if our tracker can just make sure that she is marked done.
There she is.
Danny.
Hello.
The scary 2-0 Dani3883. GG's, Danny.
Thank you.
That was an impressive run. You did real well.
Thank you.
How did that feel?
Well, having being like in the air, what was it, like 7 minutes? All of a sudden I forgot how to route things. I went, wait, what do I do now? I'm never in the air this soon. I was like, well, then I had to like get my thoughts together because I was just kind of everywhere, and I don't remember where things were. Anybody remember where pro rings? Because this girl doesn't. Yeah, it was yeah.
Were they in Canaria?
I don't think. I remember looking there like twice, and I don't remember.
Okay, I don't remember either, but Yeah, you did everything real well. Rumblefish had been playing super aggressively and skipping boxes, and luckily hadn't skipped any loose items, had just been delaying the ordeals play to get the loot, and unfortunately took a tough wipe on Carrie very early, and then wiped out of, or reset out of his Mirage Sky play, but just didn't route in the loot, and sort of has been kind of playing from behind this whole race, but he's got all the gear that you wanted. He's found all 3 ribbons. He's found the Masa, the dragon armor.
So he found everything I didn't.
Yeah, it's interesting. While you were making the incentive plays, he was trying to dive orb dungeons, and he wiped to Carry, and he wiped in late Sky. So he was ahead of you in orbs for a good long while, but once you were go mode, you went through everything real fast.
Yeah, I tend to, if able, do incentivized first, because then I kind of have a better idea of what I have, what I'm looking for, what's loose, because you never know, you may not even need to be looking for loose. And then I got real lucky with that Earth dive, because as soon as I had finished everything else, first place I went was Earth, and I found the loose chime, and I was like, I'm not opening anything else.
Yeah.
The only thing I was worried about is, like, armor wasn't super great on my fighter, and like I said, I couldn't remember where pro rings for the life of me, and I only had 1 ribbon and no life, and I was like, this might get dicey, and it almost kind of did.
Yeah, I think your fighter was wearing silver armor at the end, wasn't he?
No, I stopped in Melmond and I bought steel armor, and then I found, and I was checking just boxes on the way through, like Sky and Volcano and some just like easy ones, so it'd be quick. And I found silver, and I was like, I don't think silver's better, and I swapped them real quick and checked on the little status me. I was like, nope, that's not better, and I put steel back on. So
okay.
Yeah, he was wearing like steel and iron something. I think he had an opal shield. But yeah, his gear wasn't great.
Yeah, so for a long time, you were the one with the tail, and Rumblefish was the one with the dragon armor.
Oh.
It was one of those gift of the Magi situations.
Nice.
It was. So can you tell us a little bit about, because there were a lot of grind tiles that you wound up seeing.
Yeah, there was a lot of good ones, and I was kind of worried a little about levels, and then I found the eyes in Waterfall. I was like, I'm just gonna sit here and dump some spell charges on that and get some levels that I at least felt comfortable enough leaving there with when I started diving dungeons, because I didn't want to stay there long, because I knew I could just get levels going through places.
Did Rumblefish just skipped the ribbon?
Oh no.
Rumblefish.
He's got 2.
He knows he's in go mode, so he's skipping those free chests and ordeals. I get wanting to go mode it, but man, those chests, you walk right by them. It's like literally a couple extra steps.
Yeah, but he'll be okay. He's
he's gonna be fine.
He also won't have life magic, but should be fine.
I'm assuming
no revival magic was available here.
I remember, I think, seeing life, but it wasn't red mage or red wizard learnable.
Yeah, life, I believe, was in the first slot of 6th level magic. It was...
Yeah. It was somewhere. Oh no, it was level 7, maybe?
Yeah, level 7, that makes more sense.
I think it may be Gaia. But I never saw Life 2.
Yeah, Life 2, we pieced together, is in the vanilla location in Lefane.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, but I wasn't 100% sure.
And Rumblefish turns in his ruby, gonna get his loot here. He's got all 4 orbs lit, so this will be a quick go mode for him. We'll see how he handles the Temple of Fiends with all that wonderful gear he's got. I'm hoping he gets it done in one shot.
Yeah, you gotta root for him to get it done in one shot.
He's got, he doesn't have quite the levels that you had, Danny, because he lost a lot of them when he took the reset in Sky. He just kind of dried up his resources, but he's got the masa. He's got an extra ribbon. This will be an interesting dive for him.
Yeah, it didn't seem too bad. The Tia 1 and Tia 2, neither really wanted to die. And I thought I was taking a wipe on Tia 2, and then I didn't, but I didn't have heals. I was like, oh, well, this is what we're doing now. So
yeah,
I got real worried on Chaos too.
That was an interesting fact because Tia 2, like that Quad X, making that fight work, because with the fast spell cast on Tiamat, and she was already doing half of your fighter's HP every swing. That was pretty clutch.
Yeah, thank goodness for Cure 4 in decent turn order.
Yeah, that could have gone another way, and it's close enough that had you wiped out, I mean, you still would have a slight lead, but we're trying to figure out how
you would be in Topher right now, but it would have been one more wipe to give Rumblefish the lead. You were about a wipe and a half ahead.
It would have been interesting because there isn't much more else that you could have done to prepare. Like we were making note of that as you were going through and between fiend dungeons, buying the magic that you were going to need for the end game, making sure your heal pots were topped off. Like you were doing all of your Topher prep between fiend dungeons, and so there wasn't a whole lot I feel like you could have changed up had you wiped. So what would you have? There's my question. I backed into it, Danny. If you had wiped on Tia 2, how would you have adjusted on that dive?
I don't know. My memory's so bad. I'm already like
You've already dumped a seed.
Oh yeah. I don't. Maybe Morlock too, because she just was not taking a hit from my fighter. At one point, I was like, "Oh crap! I remembered he's got Fade. Let's see if that works better than the sword does, because the sword's not hitting for anything." But I don't know.
Because we didn't see a lot of evasion magic either, so
no.
Yeah.
Invis 2 was level 2.
Okay.
Yeah, Invis 2 was available. You picked it up on one of your red mages. Level 2 was fairly stacked because you also had Temper and Fade.
And Lock 2.
And Lock 2. So
I took Invis 2 on one of my red mages, and then I put it on my fighter.
Yeah, and you took Lock 2 on the other one. Oh, so there's a lot that could have gone, like, because Lich had Tornado, which didn't wipe out your Black Mage, but almost did. And then Kraken 2 had Nuke, which also didn't have any. I think Kraken 2 had one casualty.
Well, that was by punch, though.
Yeah, that was by punch, and then the Nuke didn't take anybody down. So, if you had wiped, like, you couldn't expect that good luck. It would it would be a pretty dangerous Topher.
Yeah. I just kept thinking, I started going into Topher, and my first thought was, I haven't really seen anything bad this whole seed. Watch Topher just be horrible. It still wasn't too bad, but it was close.
Shows up to Lich 2 and just swings the mighty Masa Moon and just cuts through Lich.
It was in Sky, and Power Bunk was in Mirage, in case you're... So.
There was also Ribbon and Dragon Mail in Sky. Like, Sky paid out today if you full cleared it.
Oh, I think I got the 4 great chest on the way, and I was just...
How about that third eye grind, though, in the waterfall?
I smiled real big when I saw that. And then when I saw that they didn't have anything in like one round of magic and they went down, I was like, we're gonna sit here for a minute.
I was surprised.
There were so many good grind tiles, but the 3 eyes is obviously the best one.
Yeah.
There were Zombie D Whiz Vamp tiles. That's a lot of XP. Mm-hmm. There was the Naga water tile. Mm-hmm. There were sandwich tiles. There was everything.
So Rumblefish gonna have to make do with just the Masa, no fast. Carry goes down easy enough. we didn't see anything super nasty out of her. I'm concerned about Rumblefish's party here with that first turn nuke from Kraken.
Yeah. That first turn nuke is unlikely to kill any of Rumblefish's characters, although it can. Right? Even if it high roll, it has to really high roll to do full damage, especially if he heals this red mage up. Because 350 damage is it has to not only hit but roll high on its hit.
Mm-hmm. And let's see what we're gonna do. We're gonna open up with a power bonk, Viz 2, and cheeky 6% Brack. Ineffective. Kraken opens up with Blizzard.
And now all of a sudden that nuke is much more likely to have a cash.
Mm-hmm. So softening the party up before that nuke comes out. We're gonna switch to the double. We're gonna go Brack and nuke, and here comes the nuke. Exact damage on red 1. Red 2 survives with 12. Masa comes out and gets it done. So Rumblefish, the victim of it's unfortunate. So down to a 2-man party. We'll see how he approaches the very chunky, very absorbing Tiamat. So, I also want to point out that Rumblefish, one of our players that plays on a Mac, so doesn't have access to soft resets. So, kind of playing with sort of a disadvantage to this whole tournament. But we're gonna fight some Iron Galls here, and they show up with Cremate.
I believe that up A on the second player controller is still an option for soft resets. I could be wrong about that. But my understanding is that the workaround was put in place for that reason.
Well, that's good to know. And down goes the Iron Gall, but it's going to chew up more of our heal pots, so no one has found the...
And if that is correct, then it would be Meridian's fault that was put in place, as Meridian I think is pointing out. Yeah. Can you correct me here? Is up and A thing?
And Tiamat opens up with a big swing on the red wizard. I'm sorry, on the knight, and we don't have cure 4. We have heal 3.
Oh, okay, no, so it's not a thing. Okay,
we're gonna call this Tiamat fight, and Tiamat switches to spell, so that's a good thing. And Rumblefish gonna keep the heal 3s coming as we bonk. And heal 3 won't survive us against that. So now we're gonna
Rumblefish did not have room because Rumblefish grabbed Ice 3 Quad X, and heal 3 does not have room in the level 4 magic for cure 4, and that's gonna be a big difference. So he's trying to the cheeky Bracks out, but yeah, Tiamat's sort of toying with him at this point.
And with the chip damage, Rumblefish goes down and he throws his forfeit up into the SRL chat. So get those GGs in chat for Rumblefish. He has agreed to come and hang out with us in the booth and talk to us about it.
Yeah, Rumblefish with some really aggressive strategies that very nearly paid off for him. He's really great. If you're going to lose a race, that's the way you want to lose it. Going hard, and it's good to see. So get your GGs out for him, and hopefully we'll get him in here for an interview and get to hear what he was thinking.
Yep. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and kick him an invite.
So, we've got him. Excellent. Rumblefish, GG.
Thank you so much.
That was a rough steed, man.
I would agree with that, and it's kind of a combination of my choices and by some bad luck that I had thrust upon me. But it was rough. That is the word.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. Just sort of the routing. If it was ordeals was the play to make early to get, because the chime, when you found that, we knew that you would be in go mode once you did ordeals, but you played super aggressively, and I kind of want to talk about it. So what was what was going through your mind when you're diving the fiend dungeons and trying to make those early kills on carry and then on Tiamat, prioritizing over the mini dungeons?
Well, I just like to, since the fiend dungeons are, of course, necessary, I just like to try, if I think I can burn through them really, then even if there's a bit of a risk, I actually try to get through those and then just kind of hope that the items that I need are going to be loose items along the way in the fiend dungeons. And sometimes that pays off. It did not pay off in this state. I think that the chime was a loose item. The other loose item was the power gauntlet, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. So I was just trying to burn through them, and I mean, I probably was being a little too overly confident by taking on carry at level 10. But I've done it before. It's just that I didn't expect her to have that many hit points. She had quite a few actually. I mean, she burned through. She survived quite a bit that I threw at her. But at least for and at that level, I think it was like level 10 or 11. So, but I mean, that was. I was also disappointing in the wipe and Sky Castle. I mean, there was a lot that was going on there. So I think the seed was out to get me.
We were all like rooting for you when you were in that pillar maze or the teleporter maze with the solo red mage. We saw you eyeing up your magic, eyeing up like what your options were, and we all wanted to see you equip that Masa on the red mage.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Just make a run at it with the Brax on Tia, and if that didn't work, fast up and we couldn't fast, but swing away with some tempered Masa swings at least.
Right. You know, I just was thinking that I was looking for an exit spot because I thought that I forgot that only one of the red mages had exit on, and turned out the one that had perished was the one with the exit. So as for I didn't even think to switch for with the Masama and the Mass Moon on the red mage. It probably would have been the better option at the point. I was going to try to hightail it out of there, which might have been time consuming anyway. So anyway.
Played aggressive, dude. You got nothing to be ashamed of. That was having lost to you last year. I'm not. If I win on my race, I'm not looking forward to playing you in the week 3, man.
Yeah, that was a real strong showing. Like even if if things had been slightly different, you would have had an easier time. Like you could have taken out Carrie really early and been up 3 orbs, right? So it didn't wind up working out for you, but it easily could have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But GG, Rumblefish. I apologize if you go back and watch the VOD, Thunder was in chat and I kept saying Thunder instead of Rumble. So like my bad, man. The names are similar. And then I just started forcing myself to say Rumblefish and it was better. So I apologize for that.
Well, it's kind of the same thing. Thunder, Rumble. I mean, I can see why you get them confused, but I forgive you. It's no big deal.
Thank you, buddy. So we'll go ahead and let you get your final thoughts, and we'll give Speed Gaming back their channel. So
I'm just looking forward to keeping an eye. I think I got a chance for the last chance qualifier, right? Or is that how it works?
You still got a chance to make the brackets outright. 5 and 1 will make the brackets. 4 and 2 you'll make the play-in race. 3 and 3 you'll make the last chance qualifier.
Well, that's great. Okay, well, so I'm looking forward to keep going. I mean, I'll just gotta hope for a better outcome next time around.
Heck yeah, Danny, our winner, moving on to 2-0. Final thoughts, Danny.
I'm terrified of next week. I know people. It's like I already know who's 2-0, and I'm super scared. Big shout outs to my dog with the exit boss and volcano. That was fun.
Oh, was that your dog?
Oh yeah, he jumped up on the thing right beside me and bumped my arm and exited me right out. Good job, Fiddle. Appreciated the help. Yeah, just thanks, GG Groggy. It was fun. I was super nervous going into this race. To Caleb, Elasto, and Groggy, thank you very much for doing crew. Speed Gaming, as always, for hosting us. We got how many more weeks of this, and they're gracious enough to let us constantly put our stuff on here and deal with us crazy people. So appreciate it, and just to everybody watching and all that stuff. I hope everyone has a great day. And
yeah. Elastoid, thank you so much for doing commentary with me. Groggy Dog, thank you again for tracking Speed Gaming, for hosting us. Elastoid, I'll let you take us out of here, man.
All right, so just once again, thank you to all the crew. Make sure if you're not following the runners that you do. Both Rumblefish and Danny worth a follow, everybody. Thank you to Caleb for doing the comms with us and or with me, and let's thanks Speed Gaming again for hosting us. So yeah, everybody have a great night, and we're gonna close this off. I think we've still got more Speed Gaming, more FFR to watch. So keep an eye on the Random Mania and Speed Gaming channels, and you'll see a lot of this tournament going on.